A city, adorned in white and gold. Imagine a city bathed in golden light, where history breathes in every stone and hope pulses through the air. As dawn breaks over Rome, the eternal city awakens with a radiance that feels almost divine. The Tiber River shimmers like liquid gold, reflecting the first rays of sunlight that cascade over the 7 ancient hills. The Colosseum, a towering relic of gladiators and martyrs, glows with an ethereal warmth, its arches whispering secrets of centuries past. The Roman Forum, with its weathered columns and silent ruins, stands as a testament to emperors and apostles who shaped the world. The domes of basilicas, Santa Maria Maggiore, San Giovanni in Laterano, and countless others gleam like pearls against a sapphire sky, as if Rome itself is rising to witness a moment that will echo through eternity. Cobblestone streets, worn smooth by pilgrims' footsteps over millennia, sparkle like a mosaic of devotion, each stone a story of faith. Today, Rome isn't just a city, it's a stage for history, a canvas for hope, and the beating heart of a global moment that will change the world forever. This is the day Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the compassionate and humble Archbishop of Manila, becomes Pope Luis I. From the vibrant, faith-soaked streets of the Philippines to the sacred halls of the Vatican, his journey is a testament to grace, resilience, and love. Born in Imus, Cavite, to a family of modest means, he grew up amid the rhythms of Filipino life. Morning masses, barrio fiestas, and the quiet strength of a people who find joy in hardship. His rise from a small-town priest to a global spiritual leader is nothing short of miraculous, marked by a heart that listens, a mind that inspires, and a life devoted to the poor and the faithful. For the Filipino people, for 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide, and for anyone who believes in compassion and justice, this is a day that feels destined, a day that will be etched into history as a beacon of divine providence. Get ready, because the world is about to witness a new chapter in the story of faith, and it starts right here, right now, in a city adorned in white and gold. The air in Rome vibrates with color as flags from every corner of the globe flutter in the morning breeze. Picture the scene. Vivid reds and blues of Latin American banners dance alongside intricate greens and golds of African textiles. Bold patterns from Pacific Island nations mingle with the elegant simplicity of European standards, while bright yellows and whites from Asia add a burst of brilliance. Each flag is a symbol of unity, hope, and shared faith, a vibrant reminder that the Catholic Church spans continents, cultures, and dreams. Yet amid this kaleidoscope of colors, one hue reigns supreme: white. White drapes every banner, every decoration, every corner of the Vatican, symbolizing peace, purity, and the promise of a new beginning. Gold weaves through the city like threads of divine light, evoking God's eternal grace and the radiant hope of this historic day. It's a visual symphony that captures the eye and stirs the soul, pulling you into the heart of the moment. The Vatican, dressed in brilliant white and gold, is a sight to behold, more majestic than ever before. Bernini's colonnades, designed to embrace the faithful like the arms of the Church, seem to stretch wider today, inviting the world into their sacred embrace. St. Peter's Basilica, its towering dome piercing the Roman sky, stands as a beacon of faith, serene yet powerful, ready to welcome its new shepherd, the spiritual leader of over 1.3 billion Catholics. The basilica's facade, adorned with intricate mosaics, gleams in the sunlight, while statues of saints, Peter, Paul, and countless others, gaze down from the colonnades, as if bearing witness to a sacred legacy unfolding. The entire city holds its breath, wrapped in an atmosphere of reverence, anticipation, and quiet joy that pulses through every street, from the bustling Via della Conciliazione to the tranquil alleys of Prati. Rome isn't just a backdrop, it's a living, breathing participant in this moment, its ancient stones vibrating with the energy of history in the making. Every detail of this day has been meticulously crafted to perfection. The Swiss Guard, in their resplendent blue, red, and yellow uniforms, stand watch with solemn dignity, their halberds glinting like polished silver. The Vatican's Sistine Choir, their voices honed to carry the sacred melodies of Palestrina and Gregorian chant, rehearse hymns that will soon fill St. Peter's Square with celestial harmony, their notes rising like a prayer to the heavens. The scent of frankincense wafts through the air, mingling with the fragrance of fresh roses, lilies, and orchids that adorn altars, pathways, and the grand steps to the basilica. Florists from across Italy have worked through the night, weaving garlands and arranging bouquets that transform the Vatican into a garden of devotion. The atmosphere is electric, charged with the sense that something monumental is unfolding, a moment that will resonate through time and touch the hearts of generations. In St. Peter's Square, an enormous crowd gathers, their numbers swelling as the sun climbs higher, casting long shadows across the cobblestones. People of every age, race, and origin stand shoulder to shoulder, their eyes fixed on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, where the new pope will soon appear. Elderly pilgrims clutch rosaries, their hands trembling as they whisper prayers in Italian, Spanish, and Tagalog. Young families hoist children onto their shoulders, the little ones waving miniature flags and giggling with excitement. Priests in simple cassocks stand alongside lay people in vibrant traditional attire, Nigerian agbadas, Mexican huipiles, Indian saris, Polynesian leis, creating a living mosaic of humanity united by faith. Their presence is a testament to the Church's universal reach, a vibrant tapestry of cultures woven together by a shared belief. Many in the crowd have traveled for days, even weeks, to be here, their journeys marked by sacrifice and devotion. Maria, a school teacher from Cebu, Philippines, saved for 2 years to make this pilgrimage, carrying a small Santo Niño statue, its red and gold robes a symbol of her faith. "This is for my country, for my people," she says, tears welling in her eyes. "A Filipino pope. It's a miracle, a gift from God." Beside her stands Joseph, a farmer from Kenya, who endured dusty bus rides across 3 countries to reach Rome. "I came to pray for my family and for peace in my village," he shares, his worn prayer book clutched tightly. Nearby, Sophia, a nurse from Argentina, wipes tears as she speaks of her late grandmother, who dreamed of a pope from the global south. "She's watching from heaven," Sophia whispers, her voice trembling with pride. Then there's Lynn, a young woman from Vietnam who traveled with her parish group, her heart full of gratitude for the Church's role in her family's life. Their stories, like countless others in the crowd, weave a tapestry of hope, sacrifice, and faith. Each face carries its own prayer, its own dream. Tears of gratitude mingle with smiles of hope and expressions of quiet awe. A group of nuns from India sing softly, their voices blending with the crowd's murmurs in a gentle hymn. A young man from Brazil holds a sign reading, "Obrigado Deus," "Thank you, God," its bright colors catching the sunlight. A family from Vietnam, dressed in traditional ao dai, kneels in prayer, their hands clasped tightly. This isn't just a ceremony, it's a profound experience of shared faith, a moment to stand on holy ground and witness history. It's a story that will be cherished for generations, passed down by grandparents to wide-eyed children around kitchen tables and village fires. A tale of a day when the world paused to celebrate hope. A new chapter is dawning for the Catholic Church, and joy is spreading across the globe. In Rome, the epicenter of this historic event, cheers erupt as whispers of the announcement ripple through the crowd. Church bells ring out, their joyful tones soaring into the sky and echoing through Tristevere's narrow streets, Campo dei Fiori's bustling market, and the grand piazzas of the city center. The deep bells of St. Peter's blend with the lighter chimes of smaller churches, creating a symphony that lifts Rome's soul. Street vendors pause to applaud, and cafe patrons raise espresso cups in toasts. Thousands of miles away in the Philippines, celebrations explode with unmatched fervor. From Manila's chaotic streets, where jeepneys honk in rhythm and vendors distribute free lumpia, to remote villages nestled among rice fields and coconut groves, people sing, dance, and shed tears of happiness. In Davao, children performed the tinikling dance before their parish church, bamboo poles clicking as onlookers clap. In Baguio, families gather around TVs, homes filled with adobo's aroma and laughter. In Palawan's fishing villages, boats adorned with white and gold streamers sail out, crews singing hymns of thanksgiving. For the first time in history, a Filipino has become Pope. This isn't just Cardinal Tagle's triumph, it's a triumph for every Filipino. It's a proud, emotional milestone that places their faith, resilience, and spirit on the global stage. In barangays across the archipelago, communities gather in churches and squares, voices rising in hymns. In Manila's Quiapo Church, where the Black Nazarene draws millions, thousands of candles flicker like stars. Parish priests lead processions through dusty streets, carrying images of the Virgin Mary, Saint Joseph, and the Santo Niño, accompanied by guitars and Salve Regina. This is a victory for the urban poor in makeshift homes along the Pasig River, for farmers in Nueva Ecija, for youth in Quezon City dreaming of a better future, and for the elderly who prayed for this day in quiet homes. A message that resounded worldwide. The announcement of Pope Louis I's election didn't just move hearts in Rome or the Philippines, it stirred the world. From New York's neon-lit Times Square to Vietnam's bamboo chapels, Catholics watched with anticipation and hope. In Sao Paulo, church bells rang across the metropolis. In Nairobi, youth held prayer vigils, singing in Swahili. In Mumbai, Catholic schools hosted assemblies. In Dublin, pubs toasted with Guinness. The selection of Cardinal Tagle, known for his compassion, wisdom, and justice, marked a turning point for the Church. His election as Pope Louis XIII was more than a new beginning. It was a pivotal moment in the Church's 2,000-year history, signaling a shift in its global identity. Scholars and faith leaders recognized its implications. "This is a historic transformation," said Father Thomas Ray, a Jesuit Vatican expert. Choosing Tagle acknowledges the Global South's growing importance where most Catholics live. Dr. Maria Clara Burnell from Manila's University of Santo Tomas added, "This papacy symbolizes an inclusive global church, affirming that Catholicism's heart beats in places like the Philippines." Their words echoed across media from BBC to Al Jazeera and on X, where Matriarch Pope Luis I and Filipino Pope trended with millions of posts. For the first time, the papacy reached Asia, sending a message: the Church belongs to all humanity. The Global South's voice was heard, loud and clear. This wasn't just a milestone for the Philippines, it was a shift in the Church's direction. After centuries of European leadership, an Asian pope brought new hope. Many believed this would spotlight issues like poverty, inequality, and environmental crises in developing nations. Known for his humility and heart for the poor, Pope Louis I was expected to be a beacon for the voiceless, advocating for the marginalized. His theology of tears, emphasizing compassion, was seen as a guiding light for a church called to weep with the suffering and act with mercy. A sea of believers united. When Pope Louis I stepped onto St. Peter's balcony, silence swept the crowd. The sea of faces, pilgrims from Argentina, Nigeria, India, Poland, stood in awe, breaths held. Dressed in simple white, he radiated peace, his warm eyes meeting the crowd with love. Below, thousands carried their stories. Anna, a Mexican mother praying for her children, Samuel, a South African student seeking racial justice. Lynn, a Vietnamese woman grateful for her faith. United by belief, they awaited his words. Then jubilation erupted. Cheers echoed off the basilica, cries of "Viva il Papa" filling the air. Flags waved, tears flowed, strangers embraced. It was pure joy, unity, and spiritual meaning. Globally, TV networks broadcast the moment live, from CNN to ABS-CBN. In rural areas, communities huddled around radios, faces lit by candlelight. On social media, millions shared prayers in dozens of languages reflecting the Church's reach. Time paused, differences faded, leaving shared belief, a rare moment of global unity showing faith's power to connect. Ancient rituals, enduring significance. Inside St. Peter's Basilica, a majestic ceremony unfolded, blending ancient traditions with modern aspirations. Beneath Michelangelo's dome, Tagle knelt before the altar, ready to bear the papacy's weight. Incense filled the air, candles illuminated mosaics, and footsteps echoed on marble. The fisherman's ring, symbolizing St. Peter, was placed on his finger, a moment rich with meaning, linking him to 2,000 years of faith. The crowd outside gasped, feeling its weight. The papal pallium, woven from blessed lamb's wool, was draped over his shoulders, symbolizing his shepherd role. These rituals, passed down centuries, reminded all of the pontiff's bond with the people, grounding faith in tradition amid a changing world. A sacred ceremony rooted in tradition. The ceremony continued with the papal tiara, its 3 tiers symbolizing spiritual father, teacher, and servant. As it was placed on his head, the choir sang Tu es Petrus, notes soaring to the heavens. The Mass blended Latin chants with hymns in Spanish, English, and Tagalog, reflecting universality. Cardinals and bishops in crimson and gold concelebrated. Readings spoke of service and hope. In his homily, Pope Luis I urged, "Walk with courage, love with tenderness, serve with humility," sharing a childhood story of sharing food, shaping his view of faith as love in action. The Te Deum concluded the ceremony, its triumphant notes shaking the basilica. He offered the Urbi et Orbi blessing, and the crowd chanted, "Luis, Luis, from shepherd to supreme pastor." Once Manila's Archbishop, Tagle was now Pope Luis I, leader of 1 billion faithful. Calm and grounded, his smile connected with the crowd. He embraced a mission of service, not just authority. Known for theological depth and warmth, his sermons blended humor and wisdom, making faith accessible. His TV show, The Word Exposed, reached millions, showing his gift for connection. He understood the church's challenges, declining attendance, secularism, persecution, but believed in faith, love, and hope as solutions. His path would be tough, but guided by grace and prayers, he'd lead with compassion, drawing the church closer to the people. Continuing a legacy of mercy and inclusion. Pope Francis left a legacy of empathy and courage, pushing the church to serve the forgotten. His encyclicals, Laudato Si and Fratelli Tutti, challenged global issues. Pope Louis I, shaped by similar values, steps into this mission. Raised in a Philippines marked by poverty and disasters, he walked with the poor, celebrating Mass in typhoon-hit areas and sharing meals with street children. His theology of tears resonated globally, showing a church that feels pain and offers hope. A natural successor to Francis, his tenderness and justice will guide the church, inspiring all in a world craving mercy. Leading with values, not just position. Pope Louis I brings a commitment to justice, compassion, and inclusion. His call for a church that listens, embraces diversity, and offers grace inspires hope. His leadership blends strength and tenderness, addressing poverty, climate justice, and dignity. His Philippine roots inform his environmental focus, while his interreligious dialogue experience fosters unity. In uncertain times, he offers a vision of the church as a light in darkness, a refuge for all. A turning point for the global church. The world wondered, what direction would he take? The church entered a new chapter, history unfolding. Celebrations continued in the Philippines with masses, processions, and feasts. Globally, Catholics prayed for their leader, media hailing a pope for the global south. Scholars noted the church's shift to Africa, Asia, and Latin America, where faith thrives. Pope Louis I's election reflected this reality, a symbol of resilience and hope. A new era begins at the heart of the Vatican. This is more than succession, it's a bridge between tradition and tomorrow. The Vatican beats with a new voice from the global south. Pope Louis I's rise from Imus to Rome inspires, showing humble leadership can transform. His story resonates, offering a timeless model. A papacy of purpose and possibility. What will shape his leadership? Poverty, climate, dignity. His vision of openness and encounter will guide ecumenism and dialogue. His joy in the gospel inspiring believers. His upcoming encyclical on hope is eagerly awaited, promising to chart a path forward. A call to reflect and reconnect. This new phase calls us to reflect on faith's journey. Pope Louis I's election reminds us of the Church's mission to be a light. It's the story of the Catholic family seeking guidance and authenticity. Stay with Faith Watch for updates on this journey. Subscribe to God Always for inspiring stories. Pray for Pope Louis I's wisdom and joy. Trusting God's grace will guide the Church into a hopeful future.